Anyway, guys, first timers here. You got myself, Alvin,
Hiro
here as well. We've been doing a lot of stuff in the last few months here, and we kind of wanted to stop and take a moment to shout out all of our subscribers, all of our viewers, all of the people that liked and loved our videos so far, and
thank you for your support.
Commented. Yes, thank you. I'm just super excited that we've been able to do these videos with you guys, and I'm super excited for the next 9 videos that we have lined up for you guys. I think we're going to be very entertaining, and we have a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to be doing sushi with Hiro, so that's going to be exciting, and we have a couple of surprises in there as well. Anyways, let's jump into the video. Part 2, Doghouse. Alright, so we're just going to jump you right into time lapse. At this point, Hiro wasn't available for the day, so I decided to work with my wife and lay down the weed barrier and rocks, just so we didn't have a wasted part of the day. It was supposed to start to rain, so I just didn't want it to go crazy, and Hiro was complaining about rain, so I'll show you the footage of it just pouring and hailing, even though Hiro said it wasn't going to rain. Yeah, looks good. I like it. Alright, so when we got to the next day on this project, I decided to try to build the ramp by myself without Hiro. It really didn't turn out too well, and as you can see, Paul is kind of like walking out and going, "What the crap? What do I do? This is horrible." And so I thought it looked good, but on the next day kind of makes the changes and says, hey, we need to do something different. And so we do. So we'll kind of skip this portion of what I was doing on this ramp and go straight into the window. During the next portion of this video, you're going to see me cut plexiglass with the circular saw. Please keep in mind that's not how you cut plexiglass. I understand. I'm just using the tools that I had at the time. So please just kind of roll with me on that. But again, there is a correct tool for that you can buy at Home Depot. When using power tools, make sure that you're wearing eye protection just so you don't get anything in your eyes. Though it was kind of dumb of me not to be wearing safety goggles. I was lucky, so just make sure you're wearing your safety glasses. Not a perfect cut, cracked right there, but it's usable. Make it work. So for me to make my cuts on the fence, I ended up using the circular saw again. So I kind of pulled back the plastic safety and just slowly dug right into the actual fence. Once I had a little hole, I was able to push it flush and actually cut through all the fences. I ended up cutting through 3. I did use the Sawzall as well just to help cut off certain points. I also did use a drill and 2 bolts, actually 4 bolts total, to hold the plexiglass in. Right now I know my hole doesn't look straight, but I was going to use molding to help straighten that out so it doesn't look crooked in the front. As you're cutting the molding, just make sure that you measure twice before you cut. I'm usually pretty good at doing that, but just make sure you're doing it just so you're getting the correct angles. I've seen some people use cardboard and they'll cut the shape that they want and they'll put it onto the piece. And then they'll make the cuts afterwards, just so they know they actually have the shape that they want. While I was screwing in the molding, I did go a little crazy and overboard. I did put at least 3 to 5 screws per section, which is a little overkill, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to come off, or when it rains that it wasn't going to warp too bad, so I kind of wanted to hold it on there.
Alright, from far, it actually doesn't look bad.
So if you're doing a budget doghouse, kind of like we are, just make sure that the screws that you're using aren't too long. For this particular build, I'm using 1.5" screws that I used for the picket fence. We'll insulate the whole doghouse, but for the moment I just wanted to put it on there so I didn't cut myself as I was going through. So I started to paint the doghouse with a cheap dollar brush from Home Depot. This was extra paint that I had left over from a Halloween project that I did. I figured so I didn't have to spend any extra cash on paint, I just figured I could use that up here. So I'm going to use, it's kind of like a yellowish green with a black border on the bottom and the ramp. So I just kind of used that black paint there. As I come to the end of the day painting here, I'm going to let it dry for, a couple days before we jump right back on it. Overall, it is turning out really well. I just can't wait to see the end product. So far, the house looks amazing. Overall, we're just gonna need to finish off that section. I think it'll look good. Alright. So the style steps that I kind of want to build, it's gonna be something like this here. It doesn't need a fold. I just don't want to use this one outside. As we continue, we start building the stairs here. We kind of went back and forth for a little while, trying to figure out how we're going to want to build the steps. We decided that we got to a certain point where we're going to still use the block underneath and have that as the support for the start of the steps. And then we're going to actually kind of have the other steps kind of just floating. So if you were to look underneath it, you wouldn't see any braces except the block. I felt this was the best way to go, just because, if it rains, we don't have to worry about water sitting there puddling under it or anything like that. I'm very big about trying to keep wood off the ground, so that was kind of my biggest concern. So I think it's actually going to turn out amazing. Come on. Come on.
There you go.
Boy.
You got it.
Yeah, boy. I know.
Alright,
You got this, Paul. Come down without help.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy. He
Those
just
legs
needed to
are
go
all
the first
shaky
time.
though.
I know, you can see he's shaking. Good boy, Paul.
alright. As we near the end of the steps here, we decided to actually put a side cover on the side of the steps just so you don't see all the framework of the wood, and also to kind of help keep it, make it a little stronger, just so it's not going to want to move around Overall, I was able to put a lot of weight on it just to kind of test and see how it was going to work. For Paul, I think it's really overbuilt. Obviously, for a human my size, obviously it's not going to hold me, but it actually does look really good here. I'm pretty excited. So as we finish up here, we're actually going to paint it with black paint and see how it turns out. Alright guys, so again, another late night. I know, at least it's not super late, but
All of our videos
yeah,
go to the night.
So, it's done. I mean,
Welcome to the Doghouse.
Yeah, so
this is now dog show.
So we finished painting the steps, obviously. On this part 2, you just saw us create kind of like a little floating step setup here. Still supported by a brick and framed pretty good. Overall, for a 5-pound dog, I think we're actually going to be perfect. I don't think there'll be any issues there, but like I said, as we get there, if we need to put something towards the ground and add support, we can. But I kind of dig the idea of it being like floating stairs. Also, you know, I painted it the other day, so it's looking amazing there. I did add some bricks just to add a little more character to it. Just, you know, hey, it's storage. Boom, throw some stuff in there. As well, Hiro was loving our, how can I say this? Our hinge setup. 3 stainless steel hinges. So it does help us open and close it. Actually, what would be kind of cool is add some pneumatics in here. So just so can kind of help you hold
Hood shocks.
Yeah, because I mean that actually would work. I can maybe find a wrecked car at the junkyard and see if we can add the brackets to it. Yeah, it'd be another project. But overall, we did obviously add the little window in the fence so Paul can look out to the front yard. Again, the open siding here, just so he can kind of, if he wants to lay out in the front and look at the backyard, he can.
He's gonna put a screen there.
Yeah, eventually a screen, just so he doesn't, you know, try to jump out. I don't think he will, but just in case. The rocks here, you know, was at 12 bags. It came out to about $55. That's with buying bulk at Home Depot. We do have a great lineup with sushi with Hiro at some point, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. We gotta finish the floor. You guys, I know, are gonna see the fiasco on that. And you know, it's been so cold. Obviously, you're noticing us in sweaters. Hiro actually came in jeans, so it's a cold day today. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Tonight to tomorrow.
It was supposed to rain today too. We got lucky. So
it's drizzled on us today. We're like, woo! Yeah, so. But yeah, so it's turning out good, guys. Anyway, YouTube, next time. I got paint on my finger.
Oh, you got paint all over your hands. You're freaking
hair.
dirty.
Look at that. Anyway, guys.
Peace out.
Next time, YouTube.
Until next time, Doghouse Part 3. Hiro drops a hammer. Paul starts a fight to figure out with who. Watch First Timers. Doghouse Part 3.